Alright friends, it's T and I'm back man with another video on Alex Leonidas, Alphadestiny. He changed his name from Alphadestiny and he calls his channel Alex Leonidas. Now I guess he grew up out of that Alphadestiny stuff. Doesn't want to call himself Alpha anymore. So yeah, let's review this this video of the lifting slave, Alex Leonidas, Alphadestiny. Man, it's always the little people, they find themselves being inferior because little is associated with being weak, and a bigger person is always stronger than a little person. Why? Because they carry more mass on their body. So what do these little people have to do? They have to try to practice at being strong by moving objects around, lifting in the gym. All right, let's watch this video.
Help, Alex, my pull-ups aren't improving during my bulk. How do I overcome this plateau? Listen.
This is the best. Help me. Hold on, let me go over this again.
Help, Alex, my pull-ups aren't improving during my bulk. How do I overcome this
Okay, so my pull-ups aren't improving over during my bulk because they're not improving because yeah, they could be interfering with you in some way. I know that, we know that MND has a I don't know, maybe he's not getting enough these androgen receptors. There's something going on there. I need to listen more to this video because I haven't watched this yet.
plateau? Listen, if your pull-up numbers are the same while you're gaining weight.
Wait, the same gaining weight. Gaining weight doesn't mean you're getting stronger. I'll explain this. A lot of the weight that people are getting in the gym is sarcoplasmic. So they kind of have this confused. Okay, so what is sarcoplasmic? During a workout, more fluid moves into the muscles to provide energy. Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy refers to the increase in volume of this fluid. It can make muscles appear larger, but does not increase the strength. You understand me? So his problem is that domain had ended a long time ago. He's not building muscle. So the strength that he's looking for lifting is usually this one. So that's kind of an artificial muscle growth, okay? They call it sarcoplasmic. It's artificial. The strength he's looking for is hold on a second. This strength right here. He's trying to increase androgen receptors. He probably doesn't realize that because he doesn't understand the literature. He doesn't understand what his body's giving him in terms of strength. And so what you're looking for is to widen these androgens and get more of them through adaptations, what they're doing there, right? So that the molecule has somewhere to bind, giving you more force production. They control the strength, but they don't control the mass. So when this guy's eating a bulk diet, he says, well, I'm bulking, but I'm plateauing, I'm not getting stronger. Because getting a stronger doesn't get you bigger, and getting a bigger is not going to necessarily get you stronger, because getting a bigger doesn't necessarily get you a stronger, like it says here. See that? The muscles may appear larger, but it doesn't increase the strength. Why is that? Because, man, it reached an MND size limit. Look, your muscles reach an MND size limit. They call it newbie gains. See that? It reaches a ceiling limit beyond where this progenitor can donate any nuclei to support further muscle growth. So it's done. That domain is done. Yeah, man. It looks like this, actually. I've shown this to people before. It looks like that. So when you first come in the gym, untrained, first training satellite cell fusion, hypertrophy, when you atrophy, even if you atrophy and you retrain, let's just say you atrophied, you came back, that's all you ever get back. They call that muscle memory. You're not getting stronger through more mass on your body, muscle. What you're doing is you're getting molecule strength. You're getting these androgen receptor strength, this androgen receptor strength. You understand me? That isn't muscular physical strength. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe this. People, they're really crazy. They don't understand it. Like I said, why in competitions do they have to put people in groups with weight? Bigger people and smaller people. This bigger people are stronger than little people. Why? Because they're gonna always outnumber them through muscle fibers with muscle and these androgen receptors because they bind to the muscle fibers. You understand? You understand me? This whole plateau thing, man. These manlet this manlet syndrome thing. These people have issues. I'm telling you, it's a lift. This guy's just a lifting slave, bro. It's just as crazy.
If your pull-up numbers are the same while you're gaining weight.
He sees himself as inferior, and his people on his channel see themselves as inferior. This is nuts. I never felt myself as being inferior because I'm well over 6 feet. I was always strong when I was young. I remember coming in and I was in a gym at 19. I could bench 315 right off the bat. I could curl like 100-pound dumbbells. Yeah, man, I could do like a lot of stuff because I was strong. And I ate mostly a carnivore diet. I didn't eat a lot of these plant foods that a lot of people ate. So yeah.
It means your back is getting stronger. See, it's wrong to focus only on how many plates are hanging off your waist.
Your back is getting stronger? What's the matter? Why is it weak to begin with? What's the matter with you? You have a deformity, a genetic deformity or something? What's going on exactly? Why is it weaker? Why is it weak?
Unlike weighted dips, fat gain does not.
How exactly is he making this stronger, his back stronger? A bridge, when a bridge can take 1,000 pounds of weight on it from trucks running over it, and it starts to get the integrity of the bridge gets cracks in it. What do? They slap metal on it. And then heavier trucks run over it, get some damage, then they slap more metal on it. That's how it gets stronger. If you could get this, MND size, if you could get more of these nuclei which synthesize protein, you understand me? To support further muscle growth, which it's ended already. It's ended. It's done. It says here it's ended. It's beyond which extra nuclei are donated. So what exactly is he doing? How is he getting his back stronger? He's not getting it stronger. He's getting it better at doing this stupid exercise. Whatever the fuck he's doing there, like a factory worker, they get better at lifting boxes. This is not going to change your DNA in any way or you physically. And any weight that you get, you're an endurance athlete now. So you're getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This shit. And trained people, they get this garbage. They get this. Trained people get sarcoplasmic. I told you. What is sarcoplasmic? What is that? Well, it's artificial muscle growth, man. Like this. Has no strength. There's nothing. So what is sarcoplasmic? It's artificial muscle growth. You understand, man? Shit. So this is just bullshit.
Weighted dips, fat gain does not improve your leverages. And the same goes for having mass.
I will tell you this. If you are not getting bigger, and I'm not talking about fluidic, sarcoplasmic, fake muscles from carbohydrates, I'm talking about real muscle, then you are not getting stronger. You understand me? And you're not, because you're not getting any muscle. That's why he looks like this 10 years later on his channel. He's small, he's tiny, and he's weak. I don't care what anybody says. He may be better at lifting these things and moving objects around, but he's weak because he's small.
Legs both don't help with intramuscular pulling, stability.
He was in the Toronto Pro Show. I saw him. He was arm wrestling. These guys, they beat the shit out of him, man. They made fun of him. They pushed him, they pumped him, man. They laughed at him. This little guy. What could a little guy do? Lift a heavy weight. Nobody gives a shit about a little guy that could lift a heavy weight. They only care about big people in public walking down the street. No big guy has ever moved for a little guy. I'm telling you, it's just like that.
Or reduce swinging. It's actually a negative for pound performance. So what truly matters is the total vertical pulling weight.
Did you hear what he said? Pound for pound performance. You're a performer. That's all you're doing. You reached this newbie gain in the beginning. You're not getting any more muscle. You are now an endurance athlete because you're not even getting damaged, man. Fuck it. Look. You're not getting damaged anymore. It's protected by repeated bout effect. You understand me? What does it do? It goes into type 1. It recruits slow twitch motor units, type 1. It shifts in there as a protective mode. So that's why you're getting sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. You're an endurance athlete. You're performing. So you're endurance, but it's short-term endurance. So you're more in this endurance of loading more of this carbohydrate, this energy into the muscle.
matters is the
And then it gives you the fake visual look that you got muscles, but you don't. You're just weak.
total vertical pulling weight. That's why middle to heavyweights who do pull-ups with at least 2 plates always have big backs. Meanwhile, those weighing 145 and shredded and not training legs.
They have big backs, bro. They have big backs. What are you talking about? A lot of they're bigger people. They're carrying more fluid, more body weight because they're eating shit all day. They're eating a herbivore diet, eating the grass instead of eating the cow. They eat crappy food, slave food, bro, like you, and lift. And then lift like a slave all day eating slave food. It's a stupid shit.
Legs can often do 3 plates or more yet still look small. And interestingly, their total weight.
The best part where he said the guy was on a bulk diet. I thought protein builds muscle. Doesn't protein synthesis need to exceed some breakdown in order to build muscle? So why he bulking? Why doesn't he eat protein? See what I mean? All these things, these people, they have it all wrong, upside down.
Typically does not meet my 300-pound standard. Ideally, if you can do 5 reps with a total of 300 pounds, you'll build the majority of your lat gains. So a 200-pound.
Yeah, you'll build the majority of. Where's his lats? Where's his gains? I don't see anything. I see a little man with a little body with a bald head on the top there, with shining on the top of his head.
Doing 100-pound pull-ups is a beast, and on the same level as a 165-pounder doing 135 for reps.
Is this how he makes up for his inadequacy? These little people, they have to prove, they have to live, they have to do these things, man. They're so inadequate.
That's 3 plates, by the way. So don't be fooled by relative strength, and don't get discouraged by lightweight specialists, because chances are you mog them if your total pull-up is higher.
Oh, you mog them. Lightweight, you mog them if your pull-up's a little bit higher. Nobody gives a shit, man. Nobody sees what you lift in the street. They only see him when he walks down the street. Nobody pays attention to him, man. They don't even know who he is or that he even has a channel online. When he tells them, they laugh at him. He says, "Hey, I can deadlift 500 or whatever, 600 or something." And they go, "Oh yeah." "Oh, I can bench 400." They go, "Oh yeah, okay." They laugh at him.
And in this way, it's entirely possible to acquire new PRs that.
If you're a bigger person over 6 feet, they'd believe you. And they wouldn't even question you. And they're not even going to say anything to you because you're a bigger person. Looking at a bigger person. Look, there's big people that go and they lift heavy weights in the gym. But you get these little people, they lift a heavy weight. You understand me? Because they're inadequate. The bigger guy, even if he lifts it, whether he does or he doesn't, when he goes out in the real world, they're not going to question him. But this little guy, they laugh at him, man. You understand me?
Can actually net 5 pounds of muscle on your frame while not changing the number of plates hanging off your waist.
Another 5 pounds of muscle on your frame. You're not going to put any more muscle on that frame. You'll put some fake muscle, though, on there. Pretend. Make it look like you've got muscle. Fluid, but you ain't putting no muscle on there because that domain ended, bro. It's beyond where the progenitor could donate any extra nuclei. And you need those nuclei to synthesize protein, so it doesn't matter what you eat.
Take Bald Omni-Man as a perfect example. He recently did a 4-plate weighted chin-up at 205 pounds, totaling 385. A year and a half ago, his best was also 4.
These are all crazy gym slaves because they all follow each other now. You have them in on it too as well, making them think they're inadequate, so they need to do this stupid shit.
Plates, but at 170 body weight. So doing the math, he actually added a whole damn plate to his 1 rep
He's literally leaping up because he's weak. He can't pull himself up.
max. Which means if he were still lighter, he'd be hitting 5 plates, which is world class.
Look,
And
if he was strong, then he wouldn't have to practice at doing this. But he feels he's inadequate because he's weak, so he has to practice.
it's no surprise that his back is significantly wider and bigger than.
What about it? I don't see anything. It looks flat. Man, I don't know what this guy's trying to convince people of. This is just bullshit.
Previous years, so it's false to state that his pull-ups maintained in strength when he's obviously heavier and bigger. And this.
You know, it's really crazy to maintain this sarcoplasmic fluid in the muscles because my gains are going all the time, man. This is just garbage, bro. This is crazy.
This is my key message. You can make next level gains in your weighted pull-up without adding a single pound for months.
See, guys, you can make your next level gains in a single month. Yeah.
Or potentially years, yet your back can completely transform. All
In years, and it can completely transform in years. You're going to transform your back even though it reached an MND size limit. There is actually no more muscle being built there whatsoever because he'd be massive by now. Why isn't he massive? Why isn't his back looking like an open bodybuilder's?
because you maintain the original number. So the only requirement is maintenance of total load, not regret.
Man, those newbie gains require very little maintenance because you got very little of them. 5 pounds at the most. He might have gotten 5 pounds of newbie gains in the beginning. Like it said there in the map. He's just wasting his time, man. The reason why your body gives you those newbie gains, it's to calibrate you. That's all. It calibrates. Every time you do something, like it said there, when you're untrained, you do something you're untrained, like ice skating or going to a gym or swimming. It has to calibrate you for that, for swimming or for lifting or for like ice skating. It calibrates you. That's all. So it gives you these gains, and then that's it. There's no more gains.
The heavyweight pull-ups and high rep and rep sets. So if you bulk for 4 months and gain 20 pounds, then check your logbook.
If you bulk for 4 months and gain 20 pounds, exactly. What is bulking exactly? What is that? And you gain 20 pounds from bulking. So if you bulk, what are you gaining? Not muscle. That isn't muscle because protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown. Look, man. If muscle is going to gain mass, then protein synthesis must exceed that breakdown. That is when it's gaining the mass. But that mass ends right here because it has a nuclear domain size limit, broski. It has a myonuclear domain size limit. See that? Where it's beyond. It needs these nuclei. There's no more there.
So if you bulk for 4 months and gain 20 pounds, then check your logbook only to discover you're still hitting a plate for 10.
And what does usually a bulk consist of? A lot of carbohydrates. And what type of muscle creates what type of phony muscles? What is sarcoplasmic created from? This sarcoplasmic stuff? Hypertrophy? Well, it's created from that herbivore diet, bro.
Only to discover you're still hitting a plate for 10. Congratulations! Don't ask me on how to overcome your so-called plateau because you don't have one. The increase in body...
Yeah, you don't have one. You have no plateau. You can perform forever and be a lifting slave.
Weight matches perfectly with your current pull-up strength because as I just mentioned, gaining fat doesn't help at all. So in this case, you've effectively added about 5 pounds per month to your weighted pull-ups, which is amazing auto-regulated progress.
Yes, and you need this. Why? Why do you need these pull-ups so badly? What exactly are they going to do for you other than pull your scapula, your arms apart, ripping your shoulder blades apart, making them actually weaker, making them weak? So what exactly does this do? Like, what are you talking about? That doesn't get you over MND size limit, bro.
And of course, the reversal also holds true. So if you're doing 100 for 5 at 200 pounds, then lose 20 pounds, you should be able to instantly hit 120 pounds, assuming you maintained your muscle on the way down. If you can't, or you're still lifting 100, it suggests your diet was off and that your back has gotten weaker, even though you may appear stronger with more plates. But the total load is what's relevant.
Like I try to tell you, when you go work a labor job or a factory job, you get a newbie gain lifting boxes on a factory job. You even get a gain, you get these gains as well working on construction sites. But you never get it again because of the protective effect of this damage part from the repeated bout effect. It protects you because you'd be uncomfortable doing that. You know, what if you got bigger? What if you continuously built muscle lifting boxes or working in fucking, I don't know, these construction labor jobs? You commit suicide and die, bro. It's just crazy. You can't build muscle. You can get fat, but you can't build muscle, bro. It's stupid. Your body has to carry you through a famine. Your body is only made to keep you alive, and that's why it doesn't build any more muscle. It only builds it when it needs to calibrate. That's the only time, calibrating from whatever it is you're doing. And then you'd be uncomfortable if you were there all the time having this damage in your muscles. You'd be uncomfortable. You wouldn't be able to work, and you could possibly get a rhabdo and die. So that is the reason why it protects you from these things. It protects you from growing and committing suicide. You know, what if you had a famine? You had to go through a famine, and or getting rhabdo, you die, damaging it consistently. Yeah, you'd be very uncomfortable.
Relevant here, and it's the only reliable metric for long-term tracking.
So what does the human body give you? It gives you a false type of strength, which can come and go very quickly. It's a practice strength. It's androgen receptors. They control the strength, but not the mass of the limb muscles. That's why a lifting heavier can't get you a bigger. A getting a stronger can't get you a bigger. You understand me? Yeah. And if you did got a bigger and you didn't get a stronger, it's because you got sarcoplasmic muscles. And if you got a stronger but you didn't get a bigger, it's because it doesn't control the mass. Get it, broski? Yeah.
Trick for long-term tracking. Another example, my previous best weighted chin-up was 4 plates at 150 pounds, aka 330. This year,
I mean, look at this little monkey running up and down on this thing. Poor genetics. Gorillas can bench 4,000 and they got the strength of 20 men. That is genetic. They didn't have to practice at doing any things. Not even a lion. Man, all humans are so weak. You have no idea. We're the weakest in the kingdom. You understand me? We're the weakest. These animals, if you came up against any of these animals, they tear you apart, man. They don't give a shit how much you lift.
I did
They're gonna eat you.
185 at 175 body weight, totaling 360. So the external load is only 5 pounds more, yet the total PR is 30 pounds more. There's a big difference between those two values, and logically, a 5-pound increase would not result in much aesthetic differences, yet my back is inches thicker and wider. So this begs a question. Did I...
Thicker and wider? I don't see that. Again, that's just an energy source in there. You're just drawing more energy because you're an endurance athlete now.
barely maintain my strength at weighted
Chronic lifting.
pull-ups for over a year? Should I be mad?
No, you're just maintaining this, you being good at lifting this thing. I told you. You can read it in Google, man. After 10 days, if you leave the gym, this so-called phony strength will go away. That's why people complain. Yesterday I could squat 500. Today I could barely do 250.
That I'm lifting similar loads as before. My back is the best it's ever been at this body weight. And the strong...
I know so many people that lift heavy weight, and sometimes they can lift that heavy weight, and then they can't lift it again, and then they got to practice at it. You got to constantly practice at it. It's like I said before, a woman who picks up a car off a kid, she gets an influx of what? Adrenaline hormone, and then she can lift a 6,000-pound car. Is she strong? No, because she didn't build any mass on her body. She's small. She just had some temporary strength to lift the car. It's molecule strength.
longest period? Of course not. Even consider the leanness factor and other developed muscles affecting total body weight. This could allow you to maintain load and still achieve new PRs. That's why we must analyze progression trends, especially as we bulk and cut, to see how the various numbers scale. There should be a one-to-one linear correlation as body weight goes up or down. This is not hopium, it's reality. Like you can't say a 1 times body weight pull-up at 150 pounds is stronger than a 200-pound guy doing 75% of his body weight for a 1 rep max. Because
See, here it goes again. He has to compare some guy. He has to compare because this is the delusion that these lifting slaves have. They have to compare, man, because a bigger person and a little person at this weight and that weight.
the suspended weight is the same, and the lighter guy has
I told you before, ants can lift 10 times their body weight, but you come around, you step on them, man. So what?
better relative strength, yet the total weight is higher with the heavier guy. So he still beats the lightweight on both metrics. That's why pound for pound strength in isolation does not paint the entire story. And you don't need to do a 1 times bodyweight pull-up in order to be considered elite. And I would even apply this to heavier athletes. If a 300-pounder can do bodyweight pull-ups, that's as impressive as anyone achieving the same total load with weighted calcium.
Me personally, bodybuilding is meant to get you bigger, better, stronger, and faster. But it only ever happens in the beginning, like it says there in literature. It happens in the beginning. It calibrates you for that sport. That's why you want to do as many things that you're unaccustomed to doing, like swimming, running downhill, running flat and fast, a gym, ice skating. All these things will calibrate you and give you these so-called newbie gains. You'll get a newbie gain in your shins from ice skating. If you ski, you may get some newbie gains in the thighs. If you lift weights, you'll get a newbie gain. If you swim, you'll get some newbie gains. You know what I mean? If you rock climb, you'll get newbie gains in your hands, forearms, whatever. So it calibrates your leg. Your legs, especially if you run, you'll get some newbie gains running downhill, flat and fast, whatever. You know, box jumping. So it's good really to do a lot of these things, and you'll get an influx of these nuclei, man. Yeah. They help to make you better at sports. That's the whole point, really.
Calisthenics. And if a 350 to 400 pound man can do bodyweight pull-ups, that's competition level. Just look at Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall. None of us are close to their level of back development. We're talking world-class strongmen on PEDs, deadlifting over 1,000 pounds, yet they struggle to do 5 to 10 reps without weight. To put this...
The guy's lifting, his body weight's 450 pounds. Your limbs are small, your arms. What are you talking about? This guy's crazy.
in perspective,
He's trying to make it out like the strongman is weak because he can't lift up his body weight. This is stupid.
even my best 1 rep max is not as badass as them doing normal bodyweight pull-ups, even if their form is not the cleanest. So you have to respect that strength is strength. And I stand firmly by the concept of total numbers being most important, to the extent that I even base my percentage work off it. Take the classic 3 sets of 10 at 70% method. I used it when getting my...
I love this guy. He's trying to say that these bigger people are weaker than a little guy lifting a thing on this monkey bar, this lifting slave. It's crazy.
original 4-plate pull-up, but it was not calculated off the plates alone. It included my body weight. So let's say you do 70% of 180. That's 125 for multiple sets of 10. Whereas 70% of 330 is 230. So 230 minus 150 body weight equals 80 pounds. That's a lot more reason.
Here's another thing. He's practiced at doing these. They don't do a lot of fucking pull-ups, bro. They're strongman, these people. That's the best thing to do, is to find somebody that's not going to do them, that are not good at doing some exercise that you practice at, and say, hey, look, you see, I'm stronger at doing this exercise than you. I don't know. Are you strong at lifting fucking stones, you freaking little guy?
To me, since there's reps in reserve. 125 times 10 is an
Reps in reserve, yeah.
AMRAP lifetime PR that I've yet to hit. So how the f*** is 70% supposed to be accurate? Even now, 70% of 360 will be 140, which I can barely do for 6 reps. So how am I supposed to do 4 more reps for 2 extra sets? You can't. And the same applies to you even without lifting these big numbers. So if you're not that strong on weighted pull-ups, 70% with less plates can literally equate to impossible numbers. For example, 70% of 45 pounds is about 32 pounds. Find me one person who can do 10 reps with 32 pounds with 2 or more reps in reserve, who also has a 45-pound 1 rep max. You won't find it because the numbers don't add up. This is why weighted pull-up strength.
He makes it sound like this is so important to be good at doing these things. I don't know, man. What is this? Is this a sport called the pull-up sport? Is that why he's doing it? Is he competing in the pull-up sport? I never heard of this sport before. Have you?
Must be assessed for rep PRs while being 15 to 20 pounds heavier. That surely constitutes progress. How could it not? It's the only conclusion that makes it. Might not be as brag.
None of these things get you over MND size limit. This is all bullshit.
Or the on paper, especially with other measurable standards, you are massive improvement for weighted pull-ups. Repetitions, then that's a PR. Write it down and keep.
That's a PR. Unless this is a sport you're training for, you're just wasting your time, man. I'll see you in the next one. None of these things get you over MND size limit. I'll see you in the next one. Touch, think about that, like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Getting weaker but bigger. Getting weaker but bigger. Yeah, whatever. Eating shit all day. Getting weaker. Not getting stronger. Isn't that what happened to the guy? I think he wasn't getting stronger and he was bulking. Getting bigger, getting fatter. Okay. See you later.